Well, if you're seeing this, guess what? I'm back. How's it going? Happy Saturday. 6 weeks out of my next 50K. Going to be a lower vert event, about 4,000 feet of climbing. So I am going to be going for a PR, my fastest 50K ever on that race. Today, I'm out here on still the greatest mountain in the entire world, Mount Diablo. Going to bag a summit, dance around a little bit at the top, and head down. So we'll check in when we get out there. All right, before we get started, we'll do just a quick fit check. Not sponsored yet, but we got the Running is Dope Sprints hats, knock around sunglasses. As always, my Solomon vest. This is a must-have. I got my Nike quarter zip. Come on now. And I got my Nike tights. Since my last video years ago, and since I've been doing this consistently, I am now a tights guy, in case you didn't know, because thick thighs cause chafing, chafing cause problems. So we're out here troubleshooting. And then, of course, I got the Mafate 5s on. We're gonna be rocking those today. Great cushion, great spring, something I really enjoy for these longer runs. So let's get to it. All right, first 2 miles in, about 1,000 feet of climbing. There's a very steep first 2 miles. For reference, the 50K I'm doing, which is 30 miles, has 4,000 feet of climbing. So we're getting a good amount of climbing here, but still got about 5 more miles to the summit. Finally getting some downhill, change of pace. What a beautiful day. I'm definitely overdressed, but you know what? We're just gonna have to see how the rest of the climb goes. So, well, today I was reminded I cannot record myself and run at the same time. So here we are on the stairs, doing a little bit of uphill. So far, about 3 miles, 1,200 feet of climbing, a steep, honest start to the run. And now it's pretty much uphill for the next 4 miles to the summit. So, whew, this is Mount Diablo. Welcome to the mountain. Summit number 77. Not my best day up here. Legs are just kind of lead, but training the mind just as much as we're training the body. So get up, refuel, head back down. That was a tough one. That did not go as planned. You could tell from the first step, sometimes, you just have lead legs. I couldn't get any turnover. Everything hurt. And, climbing 3,700 feet in 6 miles straight, there's not a lot of room for air. And unfortunately, it was a slug to get up. It was a slug to get down. I was overdressed. I had a thermal, like a long sleeve thermal on. I overthought the weather. I thought it was foggy, and then I didn't realize I was starting to later. And a thermal and a quarter zip is way too much for 50-degree sunny weather. So I paid the price, but that's what happens when you play this game. Sometimes things just don't work out. But trying to not get as discouraged as I may have in the past, and just continue to march forward. It's been a really good training week, and I can't let one bad run, even if it was a big run and it was my big effort, I can't let that dictate how I feel about my fitness and how I game plan moving forward. So we checked the box, we got it done today, but it wasn't pretty, but that's sometimes just the name of the game. So onwards and upwards. Tomorrow we're back at it, so we'll see what that day brings. Right, happy Sunday. Out here going to get another run in. Yesterday, as you saw, was more or less a complete disaster, but that's the name of the game. We got to keep showing up. So far at 28 or so miles this week. Just gonna go out, get a couple road miles in, about 4 miles or so, and really just focus on getting some turnover, getting my legs moving, even though they are very sore and very stiff. It's really important, as I've learned with doing these ultra marathons, is late in the race, if you can just continue to move at a faster pace, you're gonna finish a lot faster. Because typically what happens with me is I start off good, I kind of ride the ups and downs, and then at the end, the last like 5 miles are just a disaster. You know, I'm walking, I'm jogging, I'm having to stop. So the idea is my legs are shot this week, and I'm gonna go do some intervals to kind of help get them used to moving a little bit faster even when they're tired. First things first though, you know, we gotta take that ketone IQ. What does it do? I don't know, but it gives me energy. So hopefully it gives a little blood flow to my legs and we can get this done. So we'll check in out there. I do want to preface this with saying I'm not a professional yet, but I do have some experience. I've done 19 ultramarathons over the last 7 years, so I've learned a lot about my own personal experience and what works for me and what doesn't. So really taking this time as I get ready for a PR attempt to train a little bit smarter and not just focus so much on getting vert and, you know, time on feet, but also try to be more efficient with the runs that I do and ultimately incorporating more road running. I've noticed, you know, I started trail running and that was what I loved the most, and I never really liked road running, but I found the more road running I do, the better I am on the trails. And at the end of the day, this is all about getting faster and Mount Diablo. All right, so the goal today is 3 sets of a quarter mile, right around tempo pace. No, this is not professional advice. This is just me trying to get a little turnover without doing anything too crazy, getting the heart rate going. It's a beautiful day out here in the flats. Let's get it. All right, well, that's the workout done. Hit all my splits, kept moving even as I got faster, got slower, didn't have to stop, didn't bring any water, and that is a weekend with Training for Life. Fantastic week. 6 weeks till the next 50K. Feeling like I'm in a good spot. Just gotta focus on recovery, keeping the intensity, and just keep showing up. You know, that's the thing I've learned with running, is no matter how you feel the day before, you never know what the next day is gonna bring. Hell, sometimes you don't even know what the same day is gonna bring. I barely felt like I could even walk this morning. I was so stiff, so tight. Felt like, maybe I'll just skip the workout, but doubled down and got it in and moved a lot faster than I thought. So time for some Panda Express. Not sponsored yet, but gonna enjoy the rest of the Sunday, and we'll get back to training tomorrow.